If you're like me, you're tired of the same old stories about American Revolution.
Enough about George already. We want to hear about someone else, like
Betsy Ross.
Betsy Ross.
Finally, the woman who sewed the first American flag tells all about the stitch heard around the world.
And now everybody, here she is, the seamstress of the Revolution,
The Empress of Embroidering,
the Sultan of Saddle Stitch,
the Guru of Needlework,
Betsy Ross. Tell us, Betsy, tell us. Shooby-dooby, shooby-doo-shoo. Come on, Betsy, tell us. Shooby-dooby, shooby-doo-shoo. Tell us how your sewing helped us win the war. Tell us, Betsy, tell us the tales you told before. Tell us, Betsy, tell us. Shooby-dooby, shooby-doo-shoo. Come on, Betsy, tell us. Shooby-dooby, shooby-doo-shoo. Tell us how you tailored Boone and Valley Forge. Tell us, Betsy, tell us how you saved George. Tell us how you knitted muskets. I felt it was my duty and crocheted a cannon. Oh, that was a beauty. And didn't it sparkle? Tell us, Betsy, tell us. Come on, Betsy, tell us. Tell us how your sewing helped us win the war. Tell us, Betsy, tell us the tales you told before. When you stitched the revolution, you know I'm double jointed. You saw the Constitution. That I double jointed. And didn't it turn out fine? Tell us, Betsy, tell us. Come on, Betsy, tell us. Tell us how you tailored Boone and Valley Forge. Tell us, Betsy, tell us. Shooby-dooby-doo-shoo.
Tremendous news, Your Majesty. I think we've won the 7 Years' War.
It's about time. We've been fighting for them how many years now?
7.
It's quite a coincidence, isn't it?
Yes, my lord, our victory is especially beneficial for our prospects in America.
America, that's splendid. You can't speak American for fur hats.
Even better, Your Majesty.
You don't mean those fur glasses, do you?
Your Majesty, we've driven the French out of most of America. The entire north is ours, as well as Florida and the east of and everything east of the Mississippi.
Our empires have never been bigger. We rule the seas. Our colonies are rich and well organized. England is the most powerful country in the world.
In other words,
That's right, Your Majesty. You demand.
who demand?
You demand.
Who demand?
You demand.
Sing. We fought the French. We whipped the world. Yeah, we're revenge. Our colonies are our great joy. Hey, America, our favorite toy. And it's great to be an empire. Everyone shines your shoes. And it's great to be an empire. Nobody can fall to our knees. So where to turn? The colonies. They fought for us to win the war. Hey, now I know they fought for. And it's great to be an empire.
Just me being awkward.
Everyone's like your shoes. And it's great to be an empire. Everyone can free. It's great to be an empire. It's early days, it's early days. It's great to be an empire, 'cause it pays. It's great to be an empire in its early days, in its early days. It's great to be an empire, 'cause it pays.
What did it mean it pays? Does being an empire come with salary and retirement and stuff like that?
Even better, England was in debt for over 140 million pounds. King George and the British Parliament figured that the colonies could help pay.
140 million pounds. Wow, like you need to diet that to lose that for months to lose that.
Pounds is in English money, dear. The British Parliament passed a series of acts that placed duties and taxes on the colonists. By 1767, those colonists weren't happy.
Mr. Otis, what's the latest?
John Adams, I'm glad I ran into you. It's another British outrage. They passed the Townshend Acts, which put import duties on just about everything.
I didn't think it could get any worse. We've already had the Hat Act, the Wool Act, the Iron Act, the Currency Act, and Sugar Act.
I know, the British just can't get their acts together.
Remember the Stamp Act?
A direct tax on everything we printed, from cards to calendars.
I love what you say. What was it? Taxation without representation is exploitation.
Tyranny.
What?
I said tyranny. Taxation without representation is tyranny.
You did? Doesn't really rhyme though, does it?
No, it's not supposed to rhyme. It's an aphorism.
Well, of course, but the good ones rhyme. Take Ben Franklin Maxims. He that goes a borrowing goes a soaring. Little strokes fell great oaks, plot deep while sluggards sleep.
Okay, I get it. The point is, the British are not treating us as equals, but as subjects. They've prohibited us from settling between the applications. They've even started enforcing the navigation laws, so all commerce between England and here must be by British vessels.
You're right, this has got to stop.
See?
They're taxing my coffee, my paper, my wine. They're taxing for theirs with what ought to be mine. They're taxing my glass and everything I see. They call them levies. They feel like a tax to me. They're taxing my sugar, they're taxing my paint. I don't think there's nothing I've got that they ain't. They're taxing my tax and adding on a fee. They call them duties, they feel like a tax to me. Taxation, taxation, without representation. It's not right time to fight, la 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 la. Taxation, taxation, without representation. It's not right time to fight, la 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 la. The Hat Act, the Wool Act, the Iron Act too. The Townshend Act, Greenville Act, what else can we do? So what is left? They wouldn't
This is the last straw, my fellow Bostonians.
You tell them, Sam.
Did we fight the Townsend Act? We refused to import British goods and pay the duties. And what did they do?
They sent warships into our harbor.
And did we relent?
Never.
What about the Bostonian massacre?
Right, the British shot and killed 3 unarmed colonists.
Did we give up?
Never!
And finally, they had to repel the Townsend Act in 1770.
Yes.
But here we are, 3 years later. They passed the Tea Act. Are we going to keep paying a tax on tea?
Never!
They've shipped 500,000 pounds of tea into the harbor to drive down the price of tea. Are we going to buy it? Well, are we?
Come on, Mr. Adams, we've got to have a spot of tea. Yeah, I mean, we're only human. And the prices are so low.
Listen to me. Today's tea, tomorrow's sugar. And the next day, it's those nice fuzzy slippers that keep your feet so warm in the winter.
Slippers!
Yes, your slippers. How long are we going to keep letting the British kick us around? It's time for action.
Right!
It's time we stopped calling soccer football.
Right!
It's time we started riding on the right-hand side of the road.
Right!
And it's time we dressed up as natives and dumped that 500,000 pounds of tea into the harbor.
Right! Wait, Miss Dobosy!
Down, 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 just jumping off the boat. Down, 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 let's see if it can float. Down, 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 it's sinking in the sea. Something's brewing, boys, and it ain't tea. Something's brewing, boys, and it ain't tea. Trouble's brewing for the crown. Tell them all in London town. London town. All their lovely tea just drowned. Send some more. It's going down. Send some more. It's going down. Down, down, down. It's going up the boat. Down, down, down. Let's see if it can float. Down, down, down. Let's sinking in the sea. Something's brewing, boys, and it ain't tea. Something's brewing, boys, and it ain't tea. Something's brewing, boys, and it ain't tea. Something's brewing, boys, and it ain't tea.
Okay, it's like half of it. I can't believe the colonists destroyed all that tea.
Yes, in Maryland, the British had shipped the tea and all the rest of the China.
King George was doing that.
Oh, the English were really getting their thirds in the table. They closed Boston Harbor for restriction on time to and moved the transport colonists from America to England.
Busy, Ross, I'm so glad you're home.
Georgia, you look like you're about to bust a stitch.
I've been trying, something's gone terribly wrong. I've been trying to knit a sweater for Joshua.
Oh my, let me take a look at that.
But Betsy, what did we do after the British shut down Boston Harbor?
Oh, wait. Well, we called for Continental Congress.
Were you there, Mr. J?
Sure was. There's five men gathered, including John and Sam Adams, George Washington, and Patrick Henry.
I know what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
Student 3. What's that say? Was that Patrick Henry?
Oh, is that Patrick Henry?
Don't encourage him, children, or he'll just keep doing it.
Did the colonists want independence?
Well, at that point, most of us just want legislation repeatedly called for a complete boycott of all British goods. But when our petitions were rejected, we all began to gather muskets.
And then the British decided to send troops from Boston to seize weapons
and arrest colonist leaders, right? And does famous rider Paul Revere.
Paul Revere, sweet boy. I think I once joined a horse for him.
The redcoats are coming! The redcoats are coming!
Calm down, Paul. It's nearly midnight. Awake the kids. Sit down, children. Your father is a bit nervous.
Of course I'm nervous. The British are moving out of Boston and coming to arrest our colonial leaders.
Are they coming by land or by sea?
I don't know. I think it's two means they're coming by land and one means they're coming by sea. I think, or maybe it's one if by land and two if by sea. I think three means they're coming by land.
Take it easy. You have to go warn the people of Lexington and Concord.
Yes, I must go at once.
Go.
Ride and war John Hancock, alert Sam Adams too. The British will arrest them, their fate is up to you. Hurry, Paul, dear, hurry, do not stop to chat. Paul, what are you doing?
I forgot my hat.
Ride on Paul Revere. Ride on Paul Revere. Get on out of here, dear Paul Revere. Lexington is waiting. They must hear the news. The redcoats are advancing. Now there's no time to lose. Tell the Minutemen there, they must take a stance. Paul, what are you doing?
I forgot my pants.
Ride on Paul Revere. Ride on Paul Revere. Get on out of here, dear Paul Revere. Ride on Paul Revere. Ride on Paul Revere. Get on out of here, dear Paul Revere. Then ride out to Concord. Warn them all once more. The redcoats want our weapons that we have kept in store. Tell all the militia they must come in force. Paul, what are you doing?
I forgot my horse.
Ride on Paul Revere. Ride on Paul Revere. Get on out of here, dear Paul Revere.
Hear he, hear he. On this day, July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress is now in session in Independence Hall, Philadelphia. The Honorable John Hancock presiding.
Thomas Jefferson, where's John Hancock?
Oh, hello, Ben. Well, I sent him out to go and get some coffee cake.
Coffee cake? Of course, what's a Continental Congress without the Continental breakfast? I hardly agree, Tom, but we already have a selection of coffee, juices, and those deliciously individually wrapped danishes.
True, but I thought John needed something to do. He's been acting a bit strange since this morning, since we voted to endorse the Declaration of Independence this morning.
A brilliant document, Tom, and now we must all hang together, or certainly we shall all hang separately.
It's been over a year since the first shots were fired between us and the British. Just a month later, we elected George Washington and head the Continental Army. We've been unofficially at war ever since.
King George has rejected our efforts, a recolonization.
Tom Paine put it nicely when he said, "These are the times that try men's souls."
Yes, that was well put. But then, it doesn't rhyme though, does it?
What?
I think our own Maximums always stick a bit better with a cute rhyme. Vessels large may venture more, but little boats should keep near shore. See how it flows?
Sure, Ben, but I don't think.
Or remember this: here snug lies a snug as a bud in a rug.
What exactly does that mean?
That's not the point. I got 4 rhyming words there out of 10. That's 40% rhyme rate. You won't find that in any of the British poets. Check out Shakespeare or Pope. They've got 10, maybe 15% rhyme rate.
That's great, Ben.
Great, it's crucial. The British may have better trained soldiers. They have more money, experience, and weapons, but America has the rhymes. Victory will be ours.
Here comes John Hancock.
Where is it? Where is it?
What are you looking for?
The Declaration of Independence.
It's quite exciting, isn't it?
You bet. Where is it?
Here, in Tom's head. He wrote it. He recited that bit about the self-evident truths again.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equally, endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, that's great, but where is it? The parchment itself. I'm ready.
Ready for what?
Ready to sign, of course.
I told you this morning it won't be ready for a month or so to sign.
Well, I'm ready now. I've been practicing.
Dang it.
I don't have common sense. I've learned my signature's intense. Tom, where do I sign?
Well, definitely had some disadvantages.
I'll say there was no real unity. The colonists distrusted each other. There was no central authority to raise money through taxes.
The army was hard to organize and nearly impossible to keep together.
And don't forget, probably no more than 1/3 of the colonists wanted independence all that much. And there were hundreds of thousands who remained loyal.
The British soldiers were 3,000 miles away from home and had a huge area to try to control.
And they had second-rate generals.
All the colonists had George Washington, who turned out to be a fantastic leader. And don't forget the French. They were always ready to help anyone who might hurt anyone.
But you're forgetting one of the biggest advantages.
I was wondering when you'd remember.
What?
My flag, of course. I tried to talk them into a red, white, and blue ottoman. But they said their budget was limited to a flag.
Oh, your flag was wonderful. I was thinking about the colonists who fought dirty.
Beg your pardon?
I don't mean it in that way. I mean, they were literally dirty. They blended in with the scenery. They exit scene.
Oh, I tell you, it ain't right. They should stand up and fight like we do.
Yeah, instead of sneaking around with those fur coats and deerskin caps all quiet like, you can't even see them. It ain't far.
I mean, look at us, all polished up bright and red. You can see us coming from miles away. That's the proper way to fight.
Exactly. We stand up straight and wait our turn to shoot and be shot at. It's gentlemanly.
Well, I'm onto them. You won't see one of them Minutemen sneaking up on me. No, sirree. What do we do?
With the sword.
On the ground, we are here all around. In the stream, in the rain. Bet you can't find me, boys. Bet you can't find me. Bet you can't find me. In your tent, in your boots, over here, in your teeth. Bet you can't find me, boys. Bet you can't find me. Bet you can't find me.
This is disgraceful.
Brown, brown, brown looks good on me. It's the color of the tree. Brown, brown, my brown looks good on me. It's the color of the Give us a hint! What does that from? It's the rock. What's that lump in your sock? What's that itch on your knee? Bet you can't find me, boys. Bet you can't find me. Bet you can't find me. Oh, bet you can't find me.
Good evening, folks. Welcome again to the American History Channel's Home Shopping Network. Alice, what do we have for our shoppers tonight?
Bert, tonight we've got a memorabilia of the American Revolutionary War.
Excellent. Well, let's get right to it. We've got over 6 years of war to choose from, with fighting in every colony and more than a dozen important battles.
Our first item, number J57, is a boot from John Burnyoug, the British general who lost the Battle of Segregoria.
His boot, wow, I'm guessing we don't have all of those left.
Just two. They come from the
from the famous battle in 1777 that gave the colonists a badly needed boost.
Smell that, Alex.
What?
You know what that smells like, Alex.
A really, really old boo.
No, it smells like victory, and you can buy. It smells like victory, and you can grab victory from defeat by phoning us right now to purchase General Bergenland's shoe. Victory from defeat. Get it? So what's that lovely item over there, Alice?
This is B65, a snowball from the Valley Forge in Pennsylvania, where George Washington and his army were forced to spend a devastating winter.
These things are going fast, folks.
We sold out in just 15 minutes. The last time we offered these at the unbelievable try-me price.
Just one per customer, please.
We have just a few minutes before our stock completely melts under these studio lights.
And we've got a satisfied customer on the phone. Hi there. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And tell us just how much you love your snowball.
Hello? Am I on Ziza?
You sure are.
I'm Comment de Rochambeau. I'm from France.
You sure are.
Oh, how wonderful! General Rochambeau arrived from France in 1780 with over 6,000 troops to aid the colonists. French helped with. French was decisive in winning the war.
Rochambeau, did you even invent chocolate eclairs?
No, I was the commander of the French alongside George Washington and his men. I thought your viewers should know.
Terrific. So tell us, how do you like your snowball? You probably serve it with some fancy French sauce, am I right?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm a commander. I'm a general. Not a chef.
This French cook's so modest.
Our next incredible item is being brought to us right now by John Paul Jones.
So what is you got there? So what's that you got there? This is a button from the coat that British General Cornwallis was wearing when he surrendered to George Washington and our French allies at Yorktown in 1781. It's a lovely brass finish and oven safe.
Amazing. Hold it up so our viewers can get a good look at it.
Benedict Arnold, give that back!
I guess that'll do
I
it
have
for
not
us,
begun.
too.
I have not yet begun to
And
fight.
stay tuned. Next,
Next on the American History Channel, we have our new documentary of the governor Cleveland man, myth, city, or scene street puppet. What happened after the British surrendered, Mr. J?
I went to help Ben Franklin and John Adams work out the Treaty of Paris in 1783. The British conceded all the land from the Mississippi River to the Atlantic Ocean, from Spanish Florida to the Great Lakes.
That was great.
Well, it was completed the Articles of Confederation, which had been the basis of the central government in Continental, gave little power to Congress.
Couldn't they do anything?
Not much. We did pass the West Ordinance, which provided for eventual incorporation of new states and land from the land. The Mississippi River and Ohio rivers.
And I macramate the Liberty Bell.
Now, Betsy, you've got to stop encouraging.
Stuck the stitch on the seam, though didn't I? Nasty little seam opened up. I think a few planks might have helped.
Betsy, you know that isn't.
Shush, dear. Let's listen to the colonists.
What more could we ask for? We've got 13 independent states and most on the benches. We don't need another king around here.
But Congress has no power to control commerce or enforce its tax collection program.
Exactly, it's perfect. It's all up to the individual states.
Are you sure this is a good thing?
What could go wrong? In 1787, the Continental Convention is now in session in Philadelphia. The Honorable George Washington presiding.
Sorry.
I can't do this.
Keep going.
Good afternoon, Mr. Madden.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hamilton.
Oh, yes, good afternoon. James, we have important discussions to make.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do, Alexander. Look out, it's Aaron Burr.
What?
I was just joking. I love doing that.
That's not funny.
Alexander, lighten up a little. We're making good progress. We have agreed to have 3 branches of government: the legislative, executive, and judiciary.
Yes, what a wonderful plan. But there are even more important matters. I need your advice.
What's on your mind, Alexander?
You know I favor a strong central bank. And now I'm faced with a huge discussion.
What is it?
Decision. When we start printing money, I'm dying to get my picture on the bill. George Washington already climbed for the $1, so I'm shooting for the 10. Personally, I think my left side makes me feel taller. What do you think?
This is not actually what I meant by lightening up, Alexander. We have some real issues here. Look, the big states and the small states still can't agree on how they should be represented in Congress.
We big states have more people. We are not going to share equally with you little states.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah!
Big states rule. We have lots of folks. Big states rule. We need lots of folks. Big states rule. We deserve the rest. Little states can scramble for the rest. Little states can scramble for the rest. Georgia really needs to grow. New Hampshire, the rest of us know. Long ago, I lost Rhode Island in my hair. I stubbed my toe on Delaware. I stubbed my toe on Delaware. I stubbed my toe on Delaware. Small states rule. We deserve our share. Small states rule. We should return. Big states rule. Big states sound a lot like George III. Big states sound a lot like George III. Pennsylvania's grown too fat. Virginia's aristocrat. Massachusetts sing nice. New York. I hate it twice. New York. I hate it twice. New York. I hate it twice. Big states rule. We have lots of folks. Big states rule. We deserve our share. Big states rule. We deserve the best. The Constitution has to pass the test. The Constitution has to pass the test. Small states, small states, small states, small states. Small.
One legislative body in the House that has proportional representation that is bigger states have more Congress people.
And the other house, this is the
Senate. The Senate gives us the same number of representatives to state no matter how many people live there.
That's right, like so much else in our Constitution, it was a compress.
Like deciding to count a slave as 3/5 of a person?
We weren't perfect, Betsy. I know it, but we did stop the slave trade 20 years later.
Yes, dear. Altogether, it was a beautifully stitched document.
Oh no, some people.
Did everyone like the Constitution?
Oh no, some people thought it gave the central government too much power. Others thought the states had too much authority. I wrote some of the federal papers to help convince people to vote for it.
Did it work?
Well, it took a while. We had to promise a Bill of Rights would be in the Constitution. Officially adopted June 21st, 1788.
Well, the first election must have been something.
It was. The members of the House of Representatives were elected directly by citizens in each state. Senators by legislators of each state. And George Washington was ominously elected president by the Electoral College.
The Electoral College, how does that work?
No one knows, dear. It's a complete mystery.
Please, Betsy, it's just a bit complicated.
Well, why don't we let these fellows here explain since they're on their way to the first electoral college.
How exactly does this work?
Don't know.
Well, look at the Constitution. Read the first sentence.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America.
I said just the first sentence.
That was just the first sentence.
Wow. Well, read the part about the electoral college.
Here it is in Article 2. The electorals shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for two persons, of whom one at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves.
Shall not be inhabited with the same state as themselves? What does that mean?
Dunno. Here, maybe this will help. But in choosing the president, the voter shall be taken by state, the representation from each state having one vote, a quorum. For this purpose, shall consist a member of members from 2/3 of the state, and a majority of all the states shall be necessary to a choice.
What does that mean?
Dunno, but what the heck? We get to vote. I'm not all that smart, and I don't have political knowledge. I guess there's no need, 'cause though I can't read, I'm off to electoral college. Vote, vote, vote! I'll figure this out, but all of farmers are clever. They'll rearrange, soon it will change. Can't keep the system forever. Vote, 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 vote. Don't have a clue about Article 2. Whoa, that's why I've been sent. Gonna vote. Gonna vote for president. Gonna vote for president. Gonna vote for president. Gonna vote. Gonna vote. Gonna vote for president. Gonna vote for president. Gonna vote for president.
So on April 30th, 1789, George Washington was sworn in as the President of the United States in temporary capital of New York.
Wow, that was a great story.
As my friend Ben Franklin said, at the time, our Constitution is in actual operation. Everything appears to promise that it will last, but in this world, nothing is certain but death and taxes.
Huh. I have a Franklin stove, you know. Doesn't look a bit like him. Ah, here you go, John. This should work.
It's perfect. I knew it could fix it. Back to go. So Lafayette.
general who fought for the Congress. Calling it. Angel.
Wait, no, my dash him.
We just finished, my dears.
Please.
Well, John's a good man, but he did leave out some of the more important parts, like when I wove a ship for the Navy out of nothing but pine needles, or how I sewed together all the pants of the British Army so they couldn't run up Bunker Hill, and the time.
April 30th, 1789, George Washington was elected President of the United States and temporary capital of New York.
Wow, that was a great story.
As my friend Ben Franklin said, at the time, our Constitution is an actual operation. Everything appears to promise it will last. But in this world, nothing is certain except for debt or taxes.
I have a Franklin stove, doesn't look a bit like him. Here you go, John, this should work.
It's perfect. I know you can fix it. Thank you, Betsy. I got to go show Lafayette. Wait, no, my Dawson.
The French general who fought for the colonists.
Well, we just finished, my dears.
Please.
Well, John's a good man, but he did leave out some of the more important parts, like when I wove a ship for the Navy out of nothing but pine needles, or how I sewed together all the pants of the British Army so they couldn't run up Bunker Hill, and the time.
Tell us, Betsy.
Keep going. Keep rolling.
Tell us, Betsy, tell us. Shooby-dooby, shooby-doo-shoo. Come on, Betsy, tell us. Shooby-dooby, shooby-doo-shoo. Tell us how you're sewing. Help us win the war. Tell us, Betsy, tell us. The tale you told before. Tell us, Betsy, tell us. Come on, Betsy, tell us. Tell us how you tailored food at Valley Forge. Tell us, Betsy, tell us. The one how you said shooby-dooby, shooby-doo-shoo. Shooby-dooby, shooby-doo-shoo. The end.
Corrigan.